How's it going, guys? So welcome to the video. What we are going to be discussing today in today's video is whether or not having excessive amounts of body fat makes you stronger, and if having excessive amounts of body fat is also necessary to become as strong as you possibly could. Now, I'm going to give you a few opinions and I'm going to give you my final opinion and I'm going to tell you why, okay? So, first things first, one of the main reasons why, in my opinion, carrying more body fat, you could say, so a little bit more body fat than deemed necessary or acceptable in the whole bodybuilding community, does tend to make people gain more strength over time is down to a few reasons. Number one, it allows you to be in a hyper-fed state, so it allows you to be in an extremely positive energy balance, which will allow recovery but also allow you to totally perform in the gym. Now, with that comes more intramuscular fat and also more intramuscular water, which will improve your leverages. Also, the subcutaneous fat will also improve your leverages. So for example, if you're holding vast excessive amounts of body fat on your bench press, you could reduce the range of motion. Or, now although this isn't necessarily a nice thought, in the squat, when you come down, your gut, your stomach will leverage and set off of your quads, which will give you more core stability and also more core control coming out of the hole, which is the weakest part of the movement for a lifter. Okay, so that is one of the reasons why holding more body fat could technically help make you stronger. So that is my train of thought with regards to just not caring about how fat you could become, how high your body fat is with regards to getting stronger. Those are the possible reasons as to why you will allow yourself to become a lot stronger. However, in my opinion, I don't personally feel there's any need to go above 15% body fat to, in any way, I just don't ever think there's an excuse. In my opinion, when someone is a drug tested athlete, above 15% body fat, the extra fat that they will be holding on their body will negatively affect their hormones, and that is not going to be necessarily good for trying to become as strong as possible. Also, above 15% body fat, the law of diminishing returns becomes, and you could only, there's no such thing in being in more of a hyper-fed state. So let me explain. So let's say, for example, you are on a 500 calorie surplus, and then you're also on, so you get the next person and he's on a 2000 calorie surplus, okay? Well, at the end of the day, they're both in a hyper-fed state. So in my opinion, that guy taking in 1500 more calories than this guy, it's not going to do anything more than just gain extra body fat, because this guy is still in a hyperfed state, therefore he's still going to get all the benefits of being in a hyperfed state. Also, at between 10 and 15% body fat, you can hold enough intramuscular fat but also enough intramuscular water to really improve your leverages. So in my opinion, going above 15% body fat isn't really necessary, and I don't think it will help you. Another thing you've got to look at is, although I'm a big fan of just absolute total strength and not necessarily, oh, he can squat 4 times his body weight when he can only, although I am a proponent of absolute strength, the thing is that you don't want to be 110 kilo, let's say you're a 110 kilo lifter, but you don't want to be able to be a 110 kilo lifter while holding 20 kilos of body fat, because what if you come up against a guy that is a 110 kilo lifter that is not holding very much body fat, he is in that 10 to 15% range. Well, of course, the guy that is the 110 kilo lifter that's holding that 10 to 15% range is going to be a much bigger advantage than you are, because he's got a lot more muscle. You understand? So that is my viewpoint. I have made the mistake before, so again, I'm not sitting up here on a pedestal saying, oh, you have to be between 10 and 15% body fat, blah, 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 blah. I have done that. I have ate excessive amounts of food and been at body fats that I have no right to be at. And only now am I really trying to bring myself down and get away from that and sit between, in my opinion, that I like to be at that 12% body fat range. And I honestly feel that about 10 to 15, 12 to 15% is the most optimal for a strength athlete. Anything below 10%, I feel that you will lose a lot more intramuscular fat and also intramuscular water, which will actually will impede on your leverages. Sorry, it will negatively affect your leverages. And as well, I also feel going below 10% as a drug tested athlete, if you're taking PEDs, then that's a different story. But as a drug tested athlete, it will also negatively affect your hormones. So that is my viewpoint. I honestly feel that between 10 and 15% body fat is the best range to be in. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. Again, I have made that mistake. I have been way above 15% body fat. Only now am I starting to bring myself down. And looking back, I'm a much better lifter now than I was 4 or 5 kilos heavier, if that makes sense. Both in just everything. And as well, I've also made the mistake of going way below 10%. I probably won't show the pictures, but I have got pictures of me from about, I think it was maybe 18 months ago, give or take, and I got pretty lean. I was about 7%, 8% body fat. I was really lean, and it also really negatively affected my performance. So I have made both mistakes at both ends of the spectrum. Sit between 10 and 15% body fat. You will not only perform very well, but you'll also look very good. If you are muscular and you are sitting at 12% body fat, you walk down the beach with your top off, people will look at you. You will look good. You will have abs. You will look nice. As Chris Jones says, you will be ho ready. So, enough rambling. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Give this video a big thumbs up. And as always, I will see you in the next video.
Would you ever forget anything you know? Take a chance to step outside.